feel like life is so great when you have a YA book to read by Lynn Painter. I've now read all of her YA books, so let's rank them from least favorite to favorite. No hate, no slander, only love. I gotta share my thoughts. I'm not going to really talk about what each book is about too much. I will share the tropes and I will share why they didn't work for me. I do recommend you having read these books before you watch this video because I do have some thoughts and feelings that we should talk about while we're here. So my least favorite book, which if you know me, you probably already guessed this, but if you don't know me, is Nothing Like the Movies. I know. Wait, most people don't like this answer for me, but for me, after the success of Better Than the Movies and that just being such an excellent standalone, getting Nothing Like the Movies, I was like, okay, yes, love this. And I thought, based off of Better Than the Movies, that we were going to get, and the cover as well, now that I think about it, I thought it was going to be very rom-com-y. Apparently things have not gone all that well for our two main characters, so I was expecting a whole lot, just an abundance of like, I'm going to woo this character and I'm going to make them see the light of my love. I'm going to make them see how much we're good together. And we get some, but the focus of the story is really grief and what grief can look like for different characters, but really what grief has been like for our male main character. And we also see a different side of Liz because things have happened. Pain has been felt and she's going through it a little bit. I've never been like a huge fan of Liz. There was one thing specifically in this book that I thought was really not okay. I felt like there was a lack of respect for a very delicate situation that I don't think she was honoring all that well. That was just like a major no for me. But that's because I've experienced people not giving me that respect in my life. So I fully understand that is like it's personal. I'm not trying to make it personal, but that's how I felt when I read this. So it is technically a second chance romance with a little bit of romance, but I would say the story is really life with grief after something really tragic has happened. Had nothing to do with the grief aspect, the fact that it was grief focused and less rom-com. I just don't know if we needed to touch this book. I think that this would have been a really great standalone. I think because it felt so different than everything that happened in that first book, I was like, oof, I don't know, like the characters, everything just feels so different. But I mean, this does track with what's going on in these characters' lives, and characters do grow and change. For the most part, we're not the same people that we were in high school. So there's some things that worked and some things that didn't, but for the most part, this is my least favorite. I know some people like really love it, and I love that for you. I wish I felt the same, babe. Like I really do, but unfortunately, this is not a win for me. Then my second least favorite would probably be The Do-Over. And nothing about this book is terrible in my opinion. And this one, I don't even dislike. I'm just not the biggest fan of Groundhog Day shenanigans happening in books. I think it sounds like torture to have to repeat the same day over and over again. Because that's like not a love for me. I didn't quite love this. But this, we have strangers lovers. It's very fast paced. It's a Valentine's Day read with just lots of cute moments and cute quotes and a very likable guy. It's really just that Groundhog Day time loop thing that just isn't the best fit for me as a reader. I do remember the quotes quoting in this though. And now we're in the middle of the list. This is a very pivotal point in the journey and a very big spot to fill because you've got a bottom two and you've got a top two. This is math. This is how this works. But I think that this middle spot would go to Fake Skating. I have talked about it in my book mail video. I will link it up here. But what you should know plot-wise is this is giving childhood friends to lovers. The female main character went to Minnesota every summer to spend time with this guy's family because the families are friends. So there's history and it's cute and I very much love it. Time has passed. So there's a bit of a time jump. They're different people and they are forced together in school to share space with the other, which leads them to fake date a little bit, hence the title. And if you know me, know I love the fake dating book trope. It's one of my favorites. So I was all over that, like butter on pancakes. I was like, yes, give me all the fake dating. And with a little bit of like a second chance romance-ish trope as well. I was loving this, like absolutely devouring this. And something happens in that last little bit of this book. We're at the climax of the story here. And something that was getting attention surprised me because I thought the attention was going to be elsewhere. And because there were many things that I think required attention, felt like there were too many cooks in the kitchen, too many ingredients in the stew. And it did take me out of it a little bit because I was loving it, but then that ending felt kind of rushed at the same time too. So very enjoyable. Definitely recommend, especially if you're a fan of Lynn Painter's work. But it really was that last stretch that got me. And it makes me sad. But I do love these characters and I'm very happy for what happens in the end. It's like fake dating and hockey romance. They just go well. It's just sports romance actually. If you got a date for the sport, opposites attract. Oh, You got all of that in this. Okay, so now we have to talk about my number 2 spot, which is going to give away the whole thing. You're going to know exactly what my number 2 and my number 1 are. That being said, my number 2 goes to Better Than the Movies. And this is like global phenomenon. Like people love this book and I love it too. I think it is the perfect YA rom-com. It is delivering all of the vibes. It's giving She's All That. The 2 main characters are neighbors. They don't like each other, but they prank each other all the time. I think a lot of people say that this is enemies to lovers, but I would say like soft enemies to lovers, one-sided, very one-sided enemies to lovers. Just kind of is giving dislike to more. And friends for a long time. I can't remember if it's childhood and like, are they really friends or just kind of neighbors that just shared space with each other? Yeah, I'm going to go with neighbors on this one, but it's a love letter to romance books. It's a love letter to romance media. It does have one cringy moment in it that just stands out so vividly in my mind that it haunts me. It's like a major reason why it's not my number 1, because I loathe with every fiber of my being awkward moments in books. It's relatable, yes, but I will do everything in my power to not read it. If I need to read it, I will just scan read because I don't really want to, but I know it probably has something to do with the plot that I'll need to know. So major like. See the appeal, love the love in this. The ending is... What is with prom in books too? Like, it gets me every time, which does mean that my number 1 goes to Betting on You. This feels very unpopular. Just even me saying it, I feel like someone is watching it being like, what? Why? Oh, for Better Than the Movies? Yes, and I'll tell you why. This is giving When Harry Met Sally in the best way possible. If you have not watched When Harry Met Sally, you need to. It is autumn in New York, and guess what? It is autumn in North America right now. Leaves are starting to change. There's a coolness in the air. It's time to watch that movie. And this book is just so enjoyable, and it's very long too. Like, it's a longer YA book, so you get a lot of time with the characters, but it's strangers to friends to more. There's a little bit of fake dating. There's a bet involved. Don't love the bet. Even though it's called Betting on You, I don't love the bet, but it adds to the plot, adds to the development. It's giving upper YA a bit more than Better Than the Movies for me, but it's the pacing and the build-up and the pining. I love the pining, so I love this book. And I just love the characters too. Sometimes you just know. Sometimes you're just like, yes, this is my favorite, and yes, this one isn't. And that's exactly just how I chose with this list. I followed my instincts. I followed my gut. And I feel good about it. But if you've read these books and you have a ranking of your own, feel free to share them down below. If you haven't read them, let me know which ones you're excited to read. And as always, all of my links are in the description below, as well as to the link to my Discord group, which is free to join. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye, friends.